The universe was vast and infinite. Civilizations thrived across countless galaxies. Each species had its strengths, its weaknesses, its technological marvels. The Klindari ruled the skies with their living ships. The Auraxians controlled wormholes with their intricate gravimetric algorithms. Yet one species remained an enigma to all: humans. Humans were scattered across their home system for centuries. Their technology was primitive compared to the empires of the galaxy. They relied on chemical propellants for space travel. They communicated with crude radio signals. They had no quantum networks, no hyperspace drives by galactic standards. Humans were barely out of their infancy. Despite their shortcomings, the galactic community could not ignore the humans. They were tenacious, where other species avoided inhospitable planets. Humans thrived, where others gave up after failures. Humans persevered. Their resilience was baffling, their adaptability unmatched. And then there were their weapons. The Galactic Council first became aware of human weaponry during the Battle of Proxima Ceti. The Klindari Empire had deemed the system a vital route for expansion. The humans disagreed. When the Klindari fleet arrived in orbit, they expected a swift victory. The humans, outnumbered and technologically inferior, were supposed to surrender, but they did not. The first Klindari ship to descend into Proxima's atmosphere disintegrated mid-flight. The second ship met the same fate. The Klindari admiral was perplexed. There was no energy signature, no plasma trails, no sign of a weapon discharge. Their analysts were baffled. How were the humans doing this? The answer came when a Klindari scout managed to retrieve a fragment of the weapon used. The scout barely escaped with its life. The fragment was analyzed in the Imperial laboratories. The results shocked the Klindari scientists. The humans were using kinetic energy, a simple principle: accelerate a projectile to incredible speeds and unleash it upon a target. The humans had created something called a railgun. A railgun was an electromagnetic marvel. It used magnetic fields to propel metal slugs at velocities that defied reason. These slugs required no explosives, no advanced energy cores, only sheer momentum. A single projectile could pierce even the most advanced energy shields. The Klindari learned this the hard way. The humans called these weapons elegant in their simplicity. The galaxy called them terrifying. Railguns had one key advantage. They did not rely on exotic materials. Any chunk of metal could become ammunition. This gave humans an edge. Even when resources were scarce, they could fight. And they fought with a ferocity that no one expected. The Klindari Empire was forced to retreat from Proxima Ceti. This defeat was unprecedented. For centuries, the Klindari had dominated every opponent they encountered. The humans were supposed to be no different. Yet here they were, standing victorious against one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy. The defeat sent ripples through the galactic community. The Council convened an emergency session to discuss the human threat. Should they be eradicated? Should they be isolated? Should they be studied? The debate raged for weeks. No consensus was reached. Meanwhile, humanity continued to grow. They reverse-engineered alien technologies. They adapted. They innovated. Within decades, they had developed their own form of hyperspace travel. They established colonies beyond their system. They were no longer confined to their corner of the galaxy. They were a force to be reckoned with. The Railguns became a symbol of human ingenuity and defiance. They were not the most advanced weaponry in the galaxy, but they were effective, and they embodied the human spirit. Relentless, unyielding, unpredictable. One fateful day, the Klindari Empire decided to launch a full-scale invasion of the Sol system. They brought their largest fleet, their most advanced warships, their deadliest weapons. They believed that overwhelming force would crush the humans once and for all. What they did not anticipate was the ingenuity of Earth's defenders. By now, human railguns had evolved. They were mounted on orbital platforms, on starships, even on planetary surfaces. These weapons could target enemy vessels from distances that seemed impossible. The first wave of Clindari ships never reached Earth. The humans used tactics that baffled their enemies. They created debris fields to confuse targeting systems. They used decoys to lure ships into ambushes. They fought not just with their technology, but with their wits. The Clindari fleet was decimated. The survivors fled back to their territory. For the first time in their history, the Clindari were forced to sign a treaty with an inferior species. They acknowledged humanity as an equal power in the galaxy. The other empires watched in awe. How could a species so young, so inexperienced, achieve such feats? The answer was clear. Humans were not limited by what they lacked. They made the most of what they had. And when pushed to the brink, they found ways to push back. In the years that followed, humanity became a key player in the galactic community. They shared their technology with allies. They formed alliances. They explored the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Yet they never forgot the power of the railgun. It remained a cornerstone of their arsenal, a reminder of their journey. The galaxy learned a valuable lesson from humanity. Greatness was not defined by resources or technology. It was defined by determination, by ingenuity, by the willingness to defy the odds. And in that regard, humans were unmatched. As humanity's influence grew, so did the legends surrounding them. Stories of their railguns became tales of awe and terror. In distant corners of the galaxy, when younglings asked how the mighty Clindari Empire fell, the answer was always the same. The humans had railguns. The legacy of the railgun and the ferocity of humanity's rise echoed across generations. The galaxy, once a mosaic of countless empires and species, now found itself shaped by the stubborn will of the humans. Yet, despite their newfound status, humanity remained the same at its core, curious, bold, and relentless in the face of the unknown. Decades after their first great victory, humanity reached out farther than ever before. The galactic community, once skeptical of the humans' role, now saw them as vital partners. Treaties were signed, trade flourished, ideas and cultures intermingled. Yet, beneath the veneer of diplomacy and progress, old fears and tensions lingered. For many species, humanity's ascension was a warning. If a species so young could bring mighty empires to their knees, what might they become in 1,000 years? Some whispered of preemptive action. Others spoke of cautious alliances. Humanity, for its part, listened and prepared. Earth, now the bustling heart of a growing interstellar network, became a fortress. Orbital platforms bristled with railguns and other advancements inspired by their legacy. Humanity's allies received shipments of these weapons, their designs simplified so any species could wield them. This proliferation of railguns disrupted the balance of power. Once untouchable empires found themselves vulnerable to upstart factions armed with human ingenuity. Then came the Velkith. The Velkith were an ancient race shrouded in mystery. Unlike the Clindari, who had relied on strength and numbers, the Velkith wielded technology so advanced it seemed like magic. For eons, they had remained isolated, watching the galaxy as though it were an experiment. But humanity's rise had not gone unnoticed. The Velkith saw in them a danger greater than any empire or rebellion. Where others saw potential allies or adversaries, the Velkith saw a threat to the natural order. Without warning, the Velkith struck. Entire colonies vanished overnight. Starships were obliterated by weapons humanity could not even comprehend. Energy shields were useless. Railguns, so effective against other foes, were reduced to mere toys against Velkith defenses. For the first time since the Battle of Proxima Ceti, humanity found itself on the brink. The galaxy rallied. Empires and factions that had once feared humanity now stood beside them. The Clindari, humbled by their earlier defeat, sent fleets to assist. The Auraxians, masters of wormhole travel, shared their knowledge freely. But even united, the galaxy's forces faltered. The Velkith seemed unstoppable. Amid the chaos, humanity turned to what it knew best: innovation and resilience. If railguns alone could not win this war, they would evolve once more. Scientists and engineers worked tirelessly. New alloys were forged, new power systems designed. The result was the mass driver array. The mass driver array was humanity's ultimate weapon. Using principles similar to the railgun, but scaled to a planetary level, it could accelerate entire asteroids to unimaginable speeds. These projectiles carried enough kinetic energy to devastate even the largest Velkith vessels. Humanity's desperation had birthed a weapon unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The final battle took place near the galactic core, where the Velkith had established a stronghold. The Allied fleets distracted the Velkith long enough for the mass driver array to come online. Earth's defenders targeted a massive asteroid that had drifted near the battlefield. The asteroid was launched with precision. The Velkith, arrogant in their superiority, did not realize the danger until it was too late. The asteroid struck with catastrophic force. The Velkith stronghold was obliterated. Their fleet shattered. For the first time in their history, the Velkith retreated. They vanished into the void, leaving the galaxy to wonder if they would ever return. Humanity, bloodied but unbroken, stood victorious once again. The mass driver array became a symbol of their resilience. Much like the railguns of old, the galaxy marveled at their ingenuity, their ability to turn even the simplest principles into weapons capable of changing the course of history. The Velkith threat united the galaxy in ways no one had imagined. Empires set aside their differences. Treaties became bonds of trust. The Galactic Council, once a fractured and bureaucratic entity, transformed into a true alliance of species. At the heart of it all stood humanity. Years turned into centuries. Humanity continued to grow, explore, and innovate. Railguns, mass drivers, and countless other creations became relics of their storied past. Yet their legacy endured. Humanity's greatest strength was not its weapons, but its spirit. The galaxy learned to embrace this, forging a future brighter than anyone could have dreamed. And so the humans, born of a small blue planet, became legends, not because they were the strongest or the most advanced, but because they never stopped striving, never stopped fighting, never stopped believing that even the smallest spark could ignite a galaxy. The end.